You are the light of the world. A gem is not polished without rubbing, nor a man perfected without trials. Chinese proverb. It was as if time stopped. As I looked up at the ceiling, I am seeking through the ground, being engulfed by the darkness that resides in my heart. Numb, the sensation of slumbering emotions that sink deep within me. I am worthless and afraid, and because of this, I have lost my precious pearl in the Pacific that places peaceful memories upon my soul. I have lost the only one that ever loved me. About 9 months ago in September, yet another day of rain has held the sun captive, taking away the brightness that illuminated the world. Here I lie on an old bench, where I reminisce the feeling that has resided within me for years as the rain was pouring down. All of a sudden, the rain stopped bothering me. I looked up and saw a sky blue umbrella hovering over my wavy wet hair. "Hello, you're Dave, right?" said a mysterious girl who had black wavy hair and a suspicious smile on her face. "Yeah, what do you want?" I snapped at her. "Just want to get to know you," she replied happily. I felt utterly confused and disturbed by her request. "Who are you?" I asked. "Sorry, I didn't introduce myself. My name is Melissa. We have calculus together." I remember her now. She sat in the corner across the room with every guy drooling all over her. I looked away in disgust, but she insists on staying and that she wanted to get to know me. As minutes ran by while I waited for my ride to come pick me up, I decided to grant her request since she willingly shared her umbrella with me. As we talked, I felt a warm presence that surrounded me within this cold and damp weather. She told me multiple things about her, like how her cheap father, not willing to spend his hard-earned money on a simple haircut that he could have easily done, which led him to the most magnificent idea to ferociously trim his daughter's hair. Later that day at the salon, money was spent to shrink her hair up evenly to her shoulders to fix her father's mistake. She was a very bright and beautiful girl, with a bubbly personality that suits her intellect and kind nature. As my ride slowly approaches the school curb, I had exchanged numbers with Melissa before we departed, but I did not want to leave just yet. Part of me longed to reconnect with people again. Would it be worth it, though? "So, Dave, who was that pretty young girl you were talking to? Your girlfriend?" asked my mom. "No, I just met her, Mom," I replied quickly as if I had something to hide. I was burning up and embarrassed. My cheeks turned bright red, and from the corner of my eye I saw my mother chuckle to herself. I walked into my room, threw my bag on the floor, and plopped onto my fluffy bed. My room shrouded in darkness like the night sky. I was about to close my dreary eyes, but suddenly a light illuminated the corner of my room. It was my phone, which was odd because I hardly used my phone for anything. It told me that I had received a text and it was Melissa. Inside of me filled with joy, and I was elated to continue to talk to her. "Hey," she said, "what's up?" "Nothing much. I was wondering, why did you share your umbrella with me?" I asked. "I felt bad for you, and you were alone, so I thought I should keep you company, maybe make your day a bit better and out of the harm of the weather," she replied. A chord struck within me as I felt like I wasn't alone anymore, that someone cared about me for once, and maybe I can have a friend who can be sincere and there for me. However, the darkness that withholds my heart tells me that I am too naive and that she's just like them. I can't trust her. I won't trust her. My mind kept telling me, yet my heart disagrees and told me to let her into my world. I fell asleep to stop the pain of this conflicted argument. The following day, I felt the conflicted emotions battling out how to handle the delicate decision of whether or not I should trust people again. I walked back and forth after school, behind the math building to be hidden from plain sight as I tried to figure things out. Unexpectedly, Melissa has found me. "Hey, are you all right? You look terrible and frightened," Melissa said with concern. "It's nothing. I'm fine," I said quickly and quietly. "Dave, trust me. Come with me." she said, and her soft, angelic hands took my rough, stiff hands and pulled me towards a tree that was full of life, and we sat down near it as tiny rabbits scurried along towards their burrows. This is where I go to clear my thoughts and enjoy the beauty of nature. I go here to escape the harsh realities of the world and escape to a new one with different friends, she said. I didn't know what she meant until I realized that 2 baby rabbits slowly approached us. She handed me a baby carrot, and she mouthed words telling me to offer it. The gray and white patches of fur glistened in the sun as the rabbit slowly approaches my masculine hands holding a baby carrot. The tiny, cute fluff of fur hopped onto my lap and rested there, giving me comfort as I petted it gently and softly. I smiled and began to listen to my heart as the darkness within me slowly dissipated. As I looked at her, she carefully caressed the curiously cute and cuddly rabbit and fed it more carrots. If you want to find a release, I'll be glad if you join me here every day. I'll be here if you want to talk to me about anything, about your troubles and worries, she offered. Why do you care about me? I do not mean to be rude, but we just met yesterday, I responded. Would you believe me if I said that I was just naturally kind? She chuckled happily. Every day in class, you always looked as if you were in distress. The way your body's positioned is telling me, help me, save me. And yesterday, your eyes were telling me that you have been through a lot, hurt, misunderstood, about ready to burst like a bubble. I was amazed at what her observant eyes had spotted with just the position of my body and how my eyes looked. More than anything else in this school, I trust you, because you didn't treat me with lewd or hateful eyes like everyone else, she continued. She said she trusted me, yet here I lay numb, full of regret, with all the mistakes I have made to lose her to the world of cursed lips and hatred people. I didn't mean to hurt her. I got too carried away. I can't just lay here and stay succumb to my demons that restrains me. No, I must talk to her to fix the broken chain of our trust and mend it back together. As I am frantically searching for Melissa, I remembered how she was faced a multitude of obstacles where she fought for her beliefs against her creators, suffered through the stinging judgment of society, and protected the weak and feeble people who longed for guidance. Silence. The only thing that kept me company throughout middle and high school. I had held a sinking feeling of disbelief. I had so many friends, and they all disappeared in the blink of an eye. Who knew a prank could ruin your life, and once the deed has been done, you can never go back. I was in 8th grade. I had a best friend, and his name was Gavin. Gavin was the class clown and was also adored by many. I was the complete opposite from him. I had the intellects while he had the humor. One day as we were walking home, we had cut through an alleyway that was a shortcut that led back to our neighborhood. When suddenly a whole gang appeared before us, and as a friend, I stepped up and defended him, but out of nowhere, bam! I was hit from behind. I woke up dazed and confused. I checked my stuff to see if anything was missing, and it turns out my money was stolen from me. I knew it was Gavin that knocked me out, because the next day there was a picture of me knocked out on the neighbor's phone, and he was the only one behind me. I was the laugh of the school, and the pathetic dweeb that everyone picked on. I asked Gavin why did he do such a vile and putrid thing. The answer I got from him was that I weighed him down, and an embarrassment to him. From then, my world crumbled into a tiny speck of rock, to where I was isolated in the lost void of space. All that became my past, and now the one who cared enough to know me and who I was Melissa. I found her. As the rain drizzled down to the cold cement, Melissa sobbed and was crying. I hurt her. Did not mean to say that she was just like everyone else, who would just leave me. She was the light that showed me the way to move on and to not be afraid of who I am. Hey, I said quietly. She turned her head slowly and started to burst huge amounts of tears. What do you want? She asked. I'm sorry, I said. I was afraid. Afraid? Of what? She asked curiously. I was afraid that you would end up leaving me as well, and I decided to push you away, but I only ended up hurting you, and I regret it. Can you please forgive me? I pleaded. She suddenly lit up and ran towards me, giving me a hug. I forgive you, she said, with a sincere and soft voice. Days after that, the weight that dragged me down has lifted from my chest, and the world seemed much brighter than before. The joy written on my face expressed the relief of finding a sign that I was wrong, that the light of the world stood beside me now and forever.